This is the third time that I've recorded this video, and that's okay. Sometimes things take multiple tries. Things take years sometimes. Great things take time. Great things take time. I'm going to take these headphones off. Great things take time. Great things take effort. Great things take more time and effort than you really know sometimes. And it's not about time or effort. It's not about how many years you put into something. It's not about how hard you work for 1 hour. It's about how hard you work for 1 hour, 10 hours of the day. It's about time plus effort. And I'm not about to praise all this hoopla about fucking, like, you gotta work all the time, productive. You have to be productive all the time. I'm not on that shit. I watched some of those videos. I've watched videos like this before. And this video is gonna be titled some bullshit. It's gonna be titled like 10 minutes of advice in 10 minutes. Because there's no shortcut to doing what you want. There's no shortcut to getting advice. There's no shortcut to getting help. There's no shortcut to making better music. There's no shortcut to getting bigger in the gym. You just have to go and be present and do it. And that's why this is 10 minutes of 10 minutes of advice. It's not how to get abs in 5 minutes, bro. We all used to watch that shit. I know we did. I did. Back in the day. Oh my gosh. I used to spam those videos. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely getting abs today. 5 minutes. That's all it's going to take. That's what I thought, bro. But there's no 10 minutes of advice that's going to save you 17 years in the music industry. That's going to save you hours of your lifts. It's important to watch some of that content sometimes because there's great people making great content that is going to help you in the gym. Jeff Nippard, other creators, just making great content that's going to help you. They're going to help you get better exercises. They're going to help you get better, all that. And the same thing goes with music. Great producers are making great videos all the time on how to make the certain kind of subgenre you want to make, the certain kind of, all that you want to make. But don't copy people, you know what I mean? Follow along with those videos. They help you. But make your own thing, It's not about copying people and doing all that, you know what I mean? And this is a music channel. This is mostly going to be music oriented. But the thing is that music and all this shit is so deeply rooted in burning out. Creative art is everybody's burning out now. And it's a problem that I have come across. It's a problem that everybody that I know who's created music, who's created art, who does editing, all this shit, social media, all of this shit. It's a problem that all of us have come across. And burning out, I'm not here to say it's something you can avoid, because it's not, But with the proper conjoining of time and effort together, I think it's something that you can overcome. Because when you put in time and effort into something for 4 hours in a day, you can take 4 hours of every day in a week to put in time and effort into something that's important to you, or into 5 different things that are important to you. I think everybody has 4 hours of free time. I'm not saying everybody has 4 hours of free time. Sorry. Everybody has 4 hours. Everybody who wants something really, really bad and has that free time should be putting that free time into what they want. Because if you really want it, you should be putting your free time into it. And if you don't have that time, you'll have that time in the future. Work through what you're going through right now. That takes time. Everything takes time and effort too. You have to put in time and effort. It's not about saving time. It's not about becoming more optimized. Everyone's trying to optimize everything. They want their ads to be created in 5 minutes. They want everything to be higher quality in 5 minutes. But what that really creates is hours and hours of slop content that's created in 5 minutes, because nobody cares enough to sit down and just work and put time and effort into it. There's YouTube creators out there that are putting in, and I'm not saying I'm putting in all of my time and effort for this, but this is taking me 30 minutes, It's taking me 30 minutes to figure out what I'm really going to talk about for this. And it's taking me 30 minutes to re-record it 3 times. The lighting was bad in the last one I did because I had my fucking window open, all that shit. But there's no shortcut, Obviously, I could have one taked it. I could have done everything right the first time, but that's not going to happen. You're never going to do everything right the first time. If you do everything right the first time in something and it's not a fluke, chase that for the rest of your life, whatever that was, and get really good at it. Because if you can do everything right the first time on something, that's probably your career, bro. That's probably what you want to do with your life. And even if you don't get everything right the first time with what you know that you want to do, I want to do social media, and I want to do music, and that's my life. I love music, and I love social media. I review music on social media. That's what I love to do with my free time. And if that's what you want to do, if what you want to do is what you want to do, then put in the work to go do it. Time and effort conjoined, combined. But remember, there's no shortcut. Because this is 10 minutes of advice in 10 minutes. It's not 10 minutes of advice that's going to save you 20 minutes. There's no such thing. This is wasting your time. I'm not really. I hate to say that about my own content, because it's not wasting your time. I think this is important knowledge for to be transcripted, but watching another one of these videos would be wasting your time. If someone else titled the same video the same thing, and you go out there and watch it and think like, dang, that's profound. Every single time that you watch it, you're not getting better at what you're trying to get better at. You're not putting time and effort conjoined into what you're trying to get better at. If you want advice and you're going to the same video every time, then you gotta search somewhere else. Not everything's gonna work out because you watched this video on YouTube. This is 10 minutes of advice. This is from a college student, a 19-year-old college student who works a minimum wage job. I love my life. I'm happy with everything that I have. I'm grateful for everything that I have. I'm grateful that I have a platform to put this on. I'm grateful that I have all these records here. I'm grateful that I'm able to collect things that I love. I'm grateful to listen to music that I love, to review music that I love, to play guitar, which I'm just starting to pick up, to work my minimum wage job. I'm grateful to have that because a lot of people don't even have that. I'm grateful to have the house I live in. I'm grateful to have everything that I have, I'm grateful to be able to go to college. So many people can't go to college. So many people that want to go to college can't go to college. And so many people that are in college are not putting in the kind of effort that the people who want to be in college who aren't would if they were. So you got to be grateful of what you have, because sometimes there's people who don't have what you have and want what you have, and you're not doing what you could be doing. And you don't have to maximize your potential all the time. That's optimization. That's what I was talking about earlier. You don't want to optimize everything. Optimizing everything becomes soulless and destroys like real art. You know what I mean? Something that's perfect is not fun or kitschy, or like, if someone hits every single vocal melody perfectly, the lyrics are perfect, is bland in music and in art a lot of the time, in my opinion. That might be something that's different for other people. I think bland and perfect kind of go in hand in hand. Like, let's take this new Ken Carson album, right? It's typical rage music. It's quote unquote, it should work. It should be good. Because it's the same formula that he's been using. Ironically, the album is called Experiment, but it's the same formula that he's been using for 5 years at this point in the genre, right? But take that and apply it to what you have, right? Don't just do the same thing every time you're doing something, and don't be bland. Don't try to be different. Trying to be different is not cool. I hate when people do that shit. I hate when people try to be different, and I hate when I try to be different. There's been times where I've realized, like, dang, I was trying to be different here. I said some shit I don't believe just because I was trying to cater to a larger audience or a different audience, and just try to be like, I was trying to sound knowledgeable and cool or whatever, and I was wrong. You know what I mean? I say things that are wrong sometimes. Everybody says things that are wrong sometimes. You get a what's the word? Intrusive thought, right? You ever be driving, you get like terrible intrusive thoughts, right? You're never going to act on them. Sometimes you might say them out loud, you know what I mean? People make mistakes. I think releasing that album was mistake for Ken Carson. You know what I mean? But what else? What other music is he gonna make? He's been making the same music for 5 years at this point. Like I said, same songs. This album's 22 songs, and I think I heard the same melody on 4 or 5 of them, and I couldn't tell you the difference between most of them. I mean, I reviewed it. The review is gonna be out on Instagram pretty soon, but I barely I barely even tried to care about it because it's bland. It's typical for what he would do, you know? And I don't like that. I think that's not putting in effort. That's not putting in conjoined time and effort into what you're doing. So, yeah. That was 10 minutes of advice in 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes of advice that's going to save you 17 years. Not 10 minutes of advice that's going to give you abs in 5 minutes or some shit like that, you know? But just remember, there is no shortcut.